slide rule. I can't really talk, so I'm going to do my best. I are an engineer. Just kidding. Grew up, it's a, it was a kind of an interesting group. And the thing I think about most is, how the heck did we do this? We were a couple of young people in our early 20s, no business experience, no money, and oh my gosh, and yet at the time, all the steps seemed to come into place, and it seemed like we must be doing the right things. I would look at people trying to start companies and start businesses and start industries this way again, and I would say, crazy, you're crazy, don't follow that example. It was just so rare, but it really goes back to a lot of eyes, inspiration and intelligence and innovation. And, early inspiration from books told me I wanted to be an electronic engineer like my father. Now, the other kids in our family weren't pushed in that direction. He wasn't that kind of an engineer, but he was so helpful and a good teacher and explainer. But he also gave me such good feelings about the teachers I had in school and how that was what was going to better us in life. And we had a lot of discussions, about just basically all my values in life. I look back and so similar to my father's. I wish he were still with me. Well, in electronics, I got into science fair projects, and I built some huge projects. Machines that would play tic-tac-toe and add numbers that were ones and zeros. And I didn't realize that by the time you're 10 years old, you normally aren't doing these sort of things, especially back in an era when my projects had hundreds of transistors, and transistors weren't sold anywhere. My father worked for Lockheed in Sunnyvale. We moved into Santa Clara Valley. It was full of orchards. Now it's called Silicon Valley, but back then it was Santa Clara Valley. And the silicon companies that were to make transistors were just starting up. William Shockley had moved out from the East Coast and started Shockley Labs, and other transistor companies spun off. And those transistors were going to change life in all the ways that have happened. Everything from transistors to chips to microprocessors to computers to everything we have today really still is built on transistors. They followed the vacuum tubes. I built a ham radio in early years, and the way you did this was you bought a box of parts. And the parts came with a manual, and it showed you how to screw things together and bolt a big metal cabinet, put some dials on it, solder wires between all the tubes and the resistors and all the parts it was made out of, and you would build your own. And I was very young, I was 10 years old, had a soldering iron, building these projects that took weeks to build, and then you'd tune them up. And getting a ham radio license was not trivial either. You had to pass tests on electronics and radio law, and that was very important to me. Well, I thought I had something special on the other kids. I never talked to any friends about ham radio because no other friends did it.